even if they wanted to eat, they just completely lost their appetite. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is one of my crayfishes in my 20-gallon tank. So as you can see in my title, I am going to give you guys some ideas and in terms of the reasons why your crayfishes might be dying right after you get them. And even if it's a cycle tank and whatnot, it's exactly the perfect tank that they should stay, but they're just dying. So in this video I will give you guys a bit of an update first of all on my crayfishes. So in my previous videos I did let you guys know that I was doing an update of this tank, and this is what it looks like now. I have all the tubes inside there, hiding places prepared, and the water is perfectly cycled. This tank actually had this water cycled for about 3 to 4 months now. It had other shrimps and crayfishes in and out, but right now it's empty, and I did about 70% water change and did an entire filtration of this whole tank with my hang-on filter. So this tank is actually in a really good condition. As you can see, the temperature is really good to 72.4, which is perfect for the crayfishes. Cool temperature is what you want to go for. And another update is that, remember how I had a male in this tank? Unfortunately, I had to move him out because he wasn't eating. And I did actually have 3 other crayfishes in here, and then I mixed all the crayfishes, so a total of 4 crayfishes in this tank. And this tank is actually a little murky. I'm sorry about that, because I don't know why it's murky, but I think the glass is scratched up too much that it looks murky. But anyway, so in terms of the update with this tank is that there were 4 in there, 2 males and 2 females. They weren't fighting or anything like that, but like I told you guys in the previous video, when I had the 2 females and male in here, they weren't eating for about a week. That's why I had to take these guys out, as well as the male in there. And I did take them all out and put them in one same tank right here, 10-gallon tank, and it's perfectly fine to keep multiple crayfishes in one tank if you're wondering, as long as you have enough hiding spaces and good filtration. However, even in this tank, they weren't doing too good. I'm not too sure why, but here's where my tip and reasons come out when it comes to having these crayfishes proliferate. So these crayfishes in this 20-gallon tanks are doing great because I don't know why, but they're doing awesomely amazing. The water temperature is amazing, great aeration and filtration and all that stuff. The substrate is, it's not as thick, but I don't think they mind as much. But I think the reason is that the condition itself didn't just work out, and they haven't had their food for such a long time. A week without a food is too long, actually. That later on, even if they wanted to eat, they just completely lost their appetite, and then they simply didn't, couldn't eat. So what happened was that even if I, gave them enough food, they couldn't eat, or they weren't interested, and later on they lose all of their strength and eventually flip over. By flip over means, dying. So what I had to do with the other 3 crayfishes is that, first of all, the male started acting a little weird. So I had to take him out and I examined him for a little bit, and then I figured that he was no good. So in my previous video, as you can see, I put him in this tank with my orange, my volcano blue. She's right there, doing awesomely amazing. So the male, I had to give it to her, and then he was weak and everything, and then she started checking him out and eventually devoured him. And that's why she's so much bigger now. She is in such a good condition, amazing condition, and her claws are absolutely growing massively, which is great for her. A lot of calcium and protein for her. So I guess that's a bit of a win-win. I had to get rid of the body, and then she was interested in getting rid of it for me. So that's great. So that's what happened with the male, and then 2 females. 1 female actually just passed away in this tank in the morning, so I had to toss her out. And then the other female as well later that day, and then male that was remaining in this tank was roaming around, but he wasn't looking too good. So I put him in this tank a couple days ago, and I'm sure, oh, can you guys see, is it too dark? There are his remains in the snail tank. It's a lot of calcium, a lot of protein, So I had to give it to these guys, and then the male was just actually laying down like that. And I guess snail started to take over and do its job in terms of feeding. So I think they're having a feast. Oh, I think its entire body is actually like, you know, like devoured. Not actually, no. So this is his tail, and then his face is that way. But you know, I think they're starting to gather up to taste some of that. But anyway, so total out of I think 10 crayfishes that I had, 5 died, and remaining are 5. And the pregnant one, the one that I showed you guys in my previous video, she's doing amazing. She's eating, you know, a lot, and then she hasn't molted yet, which is great. But she's in there, right there, and she's very active. And then in her plate, there's always a food there in case she's hungry whenever she wants to eat. So she's doing great, and I'm looking forward to the babies. And this 20-gallon tank also absolutely great. But the reasons for your crayfishes might be dying is because, first of all, not eating, and in order for you to feed them, I suggest to put them individually in a smaller tank and feed them high protein food such as bloodworms and even brine shrimps. Try to feed those, and if not, some boiled veggies. You know, any veggies work with these guys because these guys literally eat anything, and they will be happy to eat anything, even its friends. So definitely, if you have any dead fishes that are freshly dead, or shrimps or anything like that, definitely feed these guys. They will go nuts about it. And as you can see, I did a video on previous video about how these guys are literally, they can devour anything, and those are actually good for them. So just leave the dead friends, and she definitely devoured the male, the blue crayfish male. I feel really bad, but you know, it gives her the strength and size, and her molting process for the next molting will be amazingly successful. I am thinking. But anyway, yeah, so if as long as your water is in good condition, and that you have perfectly, you know, sizable filter, and you know, aeration, absolutely nothing to worry about. It just, I guess some of the crayfishes that you get aren't as, you know, lucky as the ones that you get that do well. So I guess you can't exactly blame it. So as long as you do your part of cycling your water, having properly set up tanks and feeding them properly, having friends like that, little shrimps over there, and you know, having a good aeration, as long as you have that, I feel like the owners have done their part. And from then on, eating food, the good food you feed them, and just being active in the tank is up to them, right? Like, she's, you know, exploring the whole tank. She's actually climbed up here as well yesterday, and then she actually poked her head out right there, and then she was looking really happy. But yeah, so not like too particular of a reason. I haven't had any disease breakout with these guys, which is great. And I am actually doing a lot of water changes with these guys probably tonight, because like I said in the previous video, I got one of those return filters. It's honestly a work to fill, you know, make this, like have the hoses up and running, but it's definitely gonna be worth it when it comes to water changes. And as you can see, she is literally exploring. She's trying to get out of the water and see what's up there, but you know, she's kind of too scared. But yeah, as long as you see your crayfish active like that, and then just exploring from places to places and whatnot, I think you're in good hands, and they're in good hands actually. But yeah, any concerns regarding these guys, or you know, a lot of questions when it comes to these guys. Can you actually house them all together? And what will happen if, you know, whatever happens? And I did explain all of those in previous videos, so definitely check it out. And any other videos that you'd like to see from this channel, or anything you want me to do, just leave it down in the comment section. If you like this video, definitely leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you guys can see more of these contents. And I will do a lot of contents on shrimps, and they are coming up, as well as some guppies, and which I did, but I will definitely do more in case you guys want more of those videos. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Ooh, yellow and blue. Bye.